Now what I want to show you is this. You see this? I come to it. This is, and products like this. This capsule is a capsule 30 injection for cancer. We have many of them. And in a coming week, we'll produce 3,000 of them. That's the difference between malaria and no malaria. Cancer and no cancer. HIV and no HIV. And then you'll understand, as I said, there is no need for the man to fall because of a disease. You've all been waiting to see the cancer immunization system. It's in front of you. This is the malaria. This water can save life. We have developed it into a liquid water. From this state, it goes into liquid water. So you will see the technology not only by foundation, but the foundation as you is becoming complete in so many ways. Sometime by next Thursday, a man's life will be saved with one of these capsules. Sometime by next Thursday, a child's life in one of the hospitals here in Ghana will be saved from HIV with one of these capsules. That's how we lost cheaply life at this moment. That's all it costs. And as I explained in the lectures, very soon we'll develop a system that we can produce this in millions. The glass will cost more than the water inside it. We're not talking mass production of huge structures. We're talking what we call cottage industry. That's all it is. 2 milliliters of pure water will destroy more or less any germ. We don't talk. We have health certification on it. We never disclosed. We are authorized to use our material. A strange enough certification by European Community. I discussed yesterday in the meeting, just before Alex leaves, to find as fast as we can a faster way. You got a cancer, you got HIV. This is the answer. Come to Ghana. It'll be done by governments. It'll be done by leading scientists and doctors. And the strange thing is, now all the Ghanaians and most of Africa know it exists. Does FDA exist? Can the FDA tell Africans you cannot use it because we haven't certified it? Because we haven't paid our paymasters? Now you see the change. Now you see how simple it's become. And now why you, Kerry, and others have to teach. Because by knowledge, we put aside the fear. This is what we got to do. by knowledge, understanding it like the scientists understood in the conference, that there is no fear. So those who are scaremongering are doing their job. Interesting enough, I told the officials, can you go on the website and look at people's, what they write about us? These are all the pedophiles. They lost their master. They said, we know, we've seen them. We're watching. I asked the security guy, he said, let them make their way in Africa. Those of you who are in a free movement and they want freedom in different names and trying to be the others is wrong, look into the Keshe Foundation Security Services. You have created so much underground connections for the people who want to be free. Maybe it's time for you to work through the real freedom technology and bring your forces together to work with the foundation ethos. Because we have the technology, we can deliver peace. We'll start seeing very soon a lot of radical groups will come around foundation because they see through the foundation they can achieve their goals of freedom, this and that. But the knowledge of the foundation and the technology of it will melt them in. But the knowledge they bring allows us to set up the whole police force. Those of you who work on the fringe organizations, soon you'll be part of the foundation. And the fringes become totality in one group of people who care about humanity, and that caring will do a lot. We are not gathering radical groups. We are gathering people who understand how they can use the technology to bring peace. So, now you see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go again for you to understand. Value your life. Get on a plane. Africa is waiting for you. The mother stands. Gave life to humanity. Now it comes to protect its children. You got AIDS. You've been taking millions of tablets and thousands of dollars every year to keep alive. Liquid of life is in these bottles for you. Test it. You have fear of death through cancer and injections and chemotherapy and radiography and the rest of it, and radiation therapy. Ghana is waiting. You value your life, we give it to you. And I'll give you one thing. Those who come will not be disappointed. Because I don't do it, I've just taught knowledge. The scientists will do it for you. And this is the beauty of what you'll see. The knowledge is there for no man to suffer. And a lot of people have suffered to get this bottle here. The beauty with this one is that when we make it in a liquid and we put it on the legs and you wash yourself with it, it has a structure that the malaria parasite cannot live in. Water the rivers, water the house. You have no malaria to be worried about. Or do we put a shower of this at the end of the steps of aircraft when you land from Europe to give you a good wash? Then you're guaranteed beautiful time. This is where the change has come, and you brought it. We've done the same thing with water contamination. Now we are involved in 2 major water contaminations in Europe. The Keshe Foundation has set up a water decontamination division in Italy, and it'll grow very rapidly. Because now we have proven in the first instance immediately 90% reduction is one of the most cancerous agents. Now the change will come. The reason the conference was so successful in Ghana was because the paper submitted was done by Ghana Atomic. When you look at the papers on the top, it's Ghana Atomic or Ghana Water Commission. And their scientists submitted it. And so the trust was there. As the head of Ghana Atomic said in the press, we have tested it, we have evaluated it, they have followed it for a year, they knew it works. Now is the time of implementation. Let us look what exactly we do with this material, because a lot of fear comes out of, in fact, not understanding. And the reality is how we have to understand the totality that we can explain. It's nice to give these talks and these conferences and these lectures, but it's the explanation which makes the difference. And this is important. Dr. Gota, in his own beautiful way, presented the paper yesterday, and it brought us a lot of joy in this presentation because he's a storyteller. And after his presentation, a lot of scientists had a problem. He says, we can't understand the connection. Can you explain a little bit? And when he was explaining in a very simple way, they said, now it makes sense. So don't try to just show things to be done. Try to explain the knowledge behind it. How this liquid you see works with the cancer. This is a cancer tumor. Some tumors are as this big, and some are even bigger. You understand the tumor has become a tumor because it's got amino acid. It's made of amino acid plus something else. Could be any of these. If you look in this atomic mass structure, gravitational magnetic field forces, you'll find out is about 100. Most of the cancers have 100 to 140 atomic mass. Sometimes the more killing ones, they come around about 70. Remember the law of plasma. I don't know why I get this. Okay. You have a bigger by mass 100. You have a little by mass lighter. The stronger needs to feed the weaker, or the weaker to strong, the heavier to create a balance. In this process is the big, which loses energy, gravitational plasmatic field, to the weaker to bring it up. When you inject the material inside, you actually create a seed of a continuous need to feed. The whole tumor collapses on its own. How simple it is. When we inject these materials into the bloodstream, it's the same. But because of the technology and the way we inject it, it goes throughout the lymph, throughout the blood vessels, throughout the heart, the lung, the liver, the brain. And because it covers such a huge ratio of the conversion of the total mass of the body of the man, RNA accepts it with a flick of a finger. Is the mass population which brings the change, and it gets accepted. Because the body understands that what had is not there, now it's not to be, and it goes back to its ordinary condition. It's the technique of the application which brings the totality. Then we follow it with the processes to dispose of it. What is the strangest thing is the predator, which is the cancer, becomes the food for the body of the man. This is actually the energy which body has already transformed from the matter state to the Gans state to the solid state of the Gans as a tumor. So once the reprocessing starts, it's already digested energy. This is the beauty of it. You don't lose it. You redistribute in a way. You go into the grain depot and you distribute what has been stored in the grain depot for the rest. That's why so rapidly the body can accept it. Because it's already been digested. It's a digested food. It's just now it's time to release it. And as the tumor collapses, because of what we put inside it, the energy which is collapses gets consumed by the rest of the body. Some of you who have tested with the Gans, and we told you not to do, but some of you who tested with the liquid Gans, and we encourage you to do, you all have seen something very strange. And in the report, we've seen it in the observation through the mouse. We've seen it. The first 2 or 3 days, you bleed. It looks like you're bleeding. It goes reddish or it goes darkish. These are the cells which the body does not need, but it comes in such a vast amount for the cleaning up that ends up with this. Don't have the fear. When you come by using this liquids, you see after a time fatigue, after a week or 2, exhaustion. As I always said in the medical teaching, this is a good news. Because now it means the body is using energy to repair and build the cells which is lost because of the diseases or viruses or the cancer. which you cleaned up and you saw it as a blood or a dark discharge. Those cells have gone. Now they have to be replenished. So now you understand the process. When you get to this point of exhaustion, you need to fuel it, you need to support it, because now the body needs support. That's why you add the CH3 into it. Explain the process to the people. Don't make a monkey out of people. Monkey see, monkey does. Teach them fishing. Don't give them a fish. Spend one day explaining. The next day, they know why they are nanocoating. How they can nanocoat and how they can change their understanding to see the problem they see. I see many problems with the workshops you have started. The first day of workshop should be no physical, practical teaching in a way of making macros or cores. Those who do it, you have to stop. If you do 2 days teaching or 1 day teaching with making macros or patches, spend the first half explaining the technology. Otherwise, you have wasted your time. Is another jewel ring in the drawer. When I need it, I pull it out. But if you teach them, the patch becomes the center of the food, understanding it, they add to it, they save their lives, they feed themselves. These workshops has become huge, what I call teaching centers, but you're teaching the wrong way. No workshop should be, if it's 2-day workshop, 3-day workshop, anything to do with making. It's your job to make everything prepared, ready. Then they can just win because they understood it. This is what we did in the conference. We spent the first day teaching the science, the knowledge. And for the fun, for them to know they're going to get the bait, they're going to get the knowledge, they're going to get the magrab or whatever. As I said to them, when you go to the church, they pass a little bucket and everybody puts some money in it. And I said, in the Church of Knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, we give you a bucket, take something out of it. You don't need to put something in it. And we gave everyone a nano-coated coil made by Benjamin. They could put their hand in the bucket and take nano-coating with them. Now they could feel it. It had reality. It wasn't just talk. Simply, we explained what you can do with this and how you can feed yourself with this little coil. And because there were scientists that could understand the nanotechnology, they could understand the nexus of separation, I explained to them very simply. And that is, the fear of knowledge at the moment with the plasma is, what is it? The knowledge now divides in 2 directions. Or I better do it this way to start with. The knowledge now divides in 2 ways. As we stand now in this matter state, we have a matter as a solid. We have a matter as liquid. We have a matter as gas. This is matter state. On the other side, we use the same solid to create nano. We create plasma and we create fields. If you see the common ground is a solid state of matter. And how you play in the interaction between these three and these three, you can go here, somewhere put a vapor too or whatever. But now you understand, and how you have to make it clear for people to understand which side of the fence they want to play. Your secret is this chap, you're solid. If you play it, you can go through the path of plasma. If you play it this way, you go through the path of matter. Explain this to your people. Explain this to your teachers, to your students, whatever you want to call it. Then you see the knowledge is becoming very clear for them and for you, and there is no mystery. Because somewhere everything is interchangeable. And even you can go and exchange in different directions. So this is the theory of conversion of energy into matter. People understand. Any scientist at any level would understand, even a common man. Then you don't have this thing called plasma that float and rest. And it shows that floats were actually floats. A guy told me very recently, we have to make two groups. I said, no, we make one group, understanding of the totality. This is how it should be. Because when you teach and they see, because they've seen the liquid, they've seen the gas, you give them the nanomaterial, but you say inside it is a copper solid. You already feel, touch. When you talk about the Gans, you explain it's the nanomaterial which is separated now as you call it plasma. And then you say, if the plasma, liquid plasma, has created, it's by the fields. There is a video we showed yesterday, I don't know if I can find it, is the video where the fields come and they start making a mass. They interact suddenly. It was made a couple, 2-3 years ago by someone. That's the true explanation of it. The guy who made it understood the knowledge. So when you teach, this is important. I listened to the ladies speaking today, and people who are making the course, and we've seen different application of it. If you understood, the teaching is done. Now you're becoming the teachers. But as teachers, you have to be able to explain in a term that everybody can understand. If Einstein could understand this, he would have never written E is equal to mc squared. Because there are many factors involved in there that light has nothing to do with. And all assumptions, ignore them. Now you don't make any assumptions. Everything is considered.